Welcome to Visualize, the podcast where collaboration fuels change. I'm your host, Chris Baker, and each week we'll explore incredible connections between nonprofits, businesses, and the community. This is a space where we highlight inspiring partnerships, uncover strategies for creating meaningful impact, and share stories that show how working together can make all the difference. Whether you're a nonprofit leader, a business owner, or someone just passionate about building connections, this podcast is for you. Welcome back to Visual Eyes. And before we jump into today's episode, we just want to say a special thank you to our brand sponsor, Curtis Bellott with Align and Innovate. Curtis and his team help small businesses and nonprofits unlock their full potential through smart systems, powerful automation, and human-first AI solutions. Whether you're overwhelmed by operations or looking to scale with confidence, Align and Innovate gives you the tools and the roadmap to grow with ease. We're proud to have Curtis and Align and Innovate support this podcast. Learn more at aligninnovate.com or check the show notes so that you can have a direct link. And let's dive into today's conversation. Today's guest is Kathryn Holcomb from United Way Broward. You can check out United Way Broward at unitedwaybroward.org. Kathryn is the Senior Major Gifts Officer at United Way Broward. For over a decade, she has helped donors make meaningful impact by aligning their giving with purpose, health, education, and economic opportunity in this community. Welcome, Kathryn.
Thank you.
So, what led you to being a part of United Way and this work in philanthropy?
I actually had my first big girl job up in Washington, D.C. after college at a nonprofit, and it was veteran focused. It was Paralyzed Veterans of America. And I had a great time there. I had a blast with all of the veterans and learning about veterans benefits as well as the government relations. And when I came down to Fort Lauderdale, and I checked out a couple of things, a couple of job opportunities. I was substituting by day. I was hostessing at night. And then I landed a full-time role. And it wasn't my cup of tea. So I was really looking to get my foot back in the door of nonprofit.
Yeah.
One day, Mission United, which is United Way Broward's veteran initiative, came in and we did a care package packing event with them. And I just couldn't wait to get a hold of one of their cards so I could contact somebody and see if I could get an opportunity in there or at least an interview, anything at that point. And I did. The lady who I was interviewing with, or really just harassing every couple of weeks, is not there anymore. She retired a couple of years ago. She was wonderful. And I just kept calling her and emailing her every couple of weeks. And she finally called me and said, we're doing our interview process for a seasonal position. And I said, do you ever hire permanently from that? And she said, on a very rare occasion. And I said, well, we're going to do that. So got my foot in the door with that. Got hired on permanently on Christmas Eve from that position. And I'm still here, still happy to be a part of it and everything that we do. Not just our Veterans Initiative, but all of the different areas that we touch in the lives of Broward residents.
There is so much that you guys do in this community. And I know that you help so many nonprofits through your work. So can you give more people understanding of like different programs that you have and different, events that you kind of help bring into the community in this circle?
Absolutely. There are a ton of things. And I always understand because I'll ask people point blank, do you know what United Way is?
Yeah.
They do. And of course, different United Ways do slightly different things. We all have the same mission, but we are our own entities. So at our United Way, we focus on health and youth opportunities and a couple of other pillars that we have. And they all can be, they're all, let's see, our funded partners. We fund about 130 programs in Broward County.
It's a lot.
It is. And we have several in-house programs as well. So we do all of the fundraising. That can be through corporate sponsorships, company campaigns where their employees have the opportunity to donate and give their annual gift and have special events. So they have a lot of fun with it. Or like myself, I bring on individuals so that they can pledge their gift and they can join certain groups at their gift levels and be engaged throughout the year that way. So there are different ways of raising funds. And then we have a whole process where if you are a nonprofit in Broward County and you have a program that falls under one of our pillars that we're currently working on, then they can apply online first. It's a very, very strict process just for the application. If they meet everything, all of our guidelines from there, then they can move on to the interview process. And we have volunteers in the community that are professionals in those fields. So let's say like finance. I'll have donors that are in the finance department or team or wherever they work, and then they will be on the panel of volunteers, and they get to just grill the nonprofits that are coming in to do the presentations. Like, they put them through the ringer. So the nonprofits really have to prove their positive outcome, their lasting change that they create for the individuals and families that are going through those programs.
Right. Yeah.
And they appreciate that I put it that way bluntly too, and they've heard me speak on it because they're like, it's a very difficult process, but to receive funding from United Way, because you have to be able to be on your toes and prove so much. But they love receiving the funding, because then they have that program funded for the year, actually for the next 3 years.
Oh,
And
3 years. That's okay. Yeah.
it takes a lot of weight off of them, so then they can focus on the funding for other programs that they have.
They can really focus on what they're trying to do for the community instead of actually worrying about every single year having to reapply. So that, knowing that they have something steady for those 3 years is very valuable.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a big process. So we take the guesswork out of giving, because we have such reputable places that have already been heavily vetted to receive United Way funding. So our donor dollars are going to some of the best places, and the more dollars we raise, the more amazing funded partners we can have.
That's true. So one of the other questions that I wanted to touch base was on the kind of the events for the year, because I know that's probably one way that you actually being able to pull in some extra money to give back as well. So what are these events that actually do happen annually?
We have some really fun ones through Next Gen United, which is one of our leadership giving networks for our young donors, giving a minimum gift of $365 for the year. They'll have events like the Fall Social. That was just started about 3-4 years ago, and that has become more popular. And we actually partner with Young Lawyers Section and Young CPAs on that event as well.
Oh, fun.
We'll pick a month, we'll pick a certain awareness or celebration that month, tie it into one of our in-house programs so they can present at the event. So then the people who are attending get to learn about where their ticket proceeds are going, and actually get a little bit of education while they're there about what we do at United Way. So it's a very multifaceted event. We have opportunities for them to drop off items to be donated for certain in-house programs or different funded partners that are needed. And I'll give you an example. Last year, we had our International Day of Peace celebration. That was our focus. And that kind of ties in with Peace Week. So I don't know if you've seen some of our high schools that have like the giant pinwheels, the peace signs made out of pinwheels.
Okay.
And or they'll chalk giant peace signs out in the front. But they're a part of our Choose Peace, Stop Violence program. So we gave a little highlight to that particular in-house program, because it's a celebration of peace, and they have Peace Week in our Broward schools. So we wanted to highlight what happens in those communities through this anti-bullying campaign, share the words of peace, and also we're able to make it an international kind of event so that people know that everyone all over the world celebrates International Day of Peace. And they had a hand in making that possible for our Broward students by donating items for their Peace Week projects. Then they would get entered into drawings for certain items. We had door prizes, wine tasting, a whole spread. It was wonderful. So everybody had a grand time. One of my friends and sponsors brought in a peace tree for us. So they brought in this little baby tree. I thought it was going to be like a smaller, like tabletop tree.
Okay.
It was not. It was taller than me, so that was fun getting it to the event. It was really funny, but it was so thoughtful because it was a loquat tree. So Martin was telling me it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Okay.
I love that. So
No, it's very important. Yeah.
brought that in, and everybody wrote words of peace down on ribbons, and they tied their ribbons to the tree so that way the tree can grow with all these well wishes and words of peace on it. So,
I do know that plants can really feel the energy. So putting on beautiful words and writing it on ribbons and putting it on the tree, it's going to grow. It's going to just prosper. So that's just amazing. I love that a lot.
really fun.
What is the approach that you use to connect donors with the matters or the causes that really matter with this community?
That really is through conversation and giving them opportunities to have their own voice and advocate for why they're donating to United Way Broward. But that also happens through the events as well. So by them coming in, I always try to make sure that there's some sort of piece of information that they get to take home with them. A little aha moment of, wow, I didn't realize that was a need in Broward, and that United Way Broward and the funding that they do in the community helps to create a solution to that problem. So it's really being able to connect people to all these different programs, and there's something for everyone. It's not just a couple of things. It's not a blanket, a one cause issue. It's so many different things that can fall under that same wheelhouse of passion that people have for certain areas in the community too. So when people say that they're just focused on one issue, and then they learn about something else that's similar,
Right.
then it sparks those moments where they just think, you just feel it. You can see it in their eyes where they're like, wow, I'm helping to make a difference by being here. And now I have that information that I can tell other people about, that I was at this event and I learned about this, and it keeps spreading that way. So being able to keep people engaged once they are giving their own dollars is really the highlight for me for the year, and making sure that they are involved and having that engagement and involvement with others and with United Way Broward.
Yeah, so I remember we met about 3 years ago, I want to say, at this
So-
point. I know it was at the chamber, and we were just, it was Maria Medina and a multitude of amazing people that we were all just connected with.
Yeah.
And it's so valuable that we stayed in contact this entire time. And it's just been so amazing to see what United Way has been doing for the community. So I really do appreciate it. I love the causes that you guys are behind, and all of the nonprofits that you're also out there helping as well, besides your, internal programs that you already have as well. So thank you. That's just so meaningful. And that brings us to my favorite topic, is about collaboration. So obviously we always want to collaborate and make the community stronger. And I believe collaboration really does that, when we actually can work together and find solutions, whether it's nonprofit with another nonprofit, or it's a nonprofit with a for-profit, and finding that way to make things happen. So how does United Way leverage these cross-sector partnerships?
It's really feeling out what their areas of interest are too, and what's going to benefit everybody. So of course, I think that's that goes without saying, but being able to listen to them. Maybe it's an annual event where this might be an opportunity to see all those group members, and this is like not their one and done, but the thing that they get excited about the most for the year of being able to contribute to a nonprofit and be involved. And then we do have some that stay on after those events as well, where that's their foot in the door, and they get to actually now grow on that and decide where they want to put their dollars and put their minds and their bodies throughout the year. So maybe they want to attend more events. Maybe they just want to donate. But that's been a really fun thing to see, is those individuals that come in for these events that they know that they're a part of through another group, but they keep bringing more people to these events because they are enjoying it so much. So it's been fun watching it on a group to group collaboration. I also feel like sponsors play a huge role in everything that we do. Obviously they do with their dollars, but they also bring in their people and they give to what they believe in.
Correct.
So they want to support everything. They, with us, with our programs, when they're donating their dollars, or they're giving their dollars to cover the cost of all of the events, they also know that anything left over goes to the success of the events. So their dollars also turn into donor dollars. And Everybody loves it when their ticket proceeds are 100% coming back to United Way, but also when they get to hear that even more was done because of the generosity of the sponsors and their areas of interest. And what sparks their interest obviously can help spark others when they're out there also spreading the word and deciding what they want to do with their the collaboration with each other. They might bring another sponsor on board. They bring more donors on board to events. So it's a lot of connecting.
That's very important if a sponsor can bring on other sponsors, because if they've never actually worked with United Way or they've never actually seen what United Way can do, it's one of the ways to also give you extra visibility. And so that collaboration aspect, it can be just so valuable. Talking a little bit about sponsors specifically, do you have any story that, kind of like surprised or really made an event that you didn't really know how it was going to come out at first? Does anything come to mind?
Let's see, an event that I wasn't sure how it was going to come out. I'm going to have to think on that. We have had several throughout the years, just with Next Gen United alone. I really think it's the people that probably come on board and decide, like when it's a fun surprise every time. I mean, you always are ready to accept yeses, but you hear a lot of no's when you're out there making the asks. So whenever you get somebody new on board, that just makes it so that the rest of the year is already, you're steering clear ahead.
Yeah.
That's just a huge weight off, and it's just a big time for celebration. So I think that happened to me recently with one of my new sponsors coming on board, and it was just one of those things where I know I don't have to worry now about receiving anything. Not that worry is necessarily a thing, but I put my heart in what I do, so I want to make sure that everything's covered and we're all squared away. But somebody came on board recently, and I was not surprised. I was very ecstatic, to say the least, that they were coming on board. So that helps me lay out the rest of the year much more clearly. And
that makes a lot of sense, because when you actually have the goal is to actually bring on those sponsors and that the money is coming in, you can focus other areas of interest and hopefully get everybody on board.
Yes. So big weight off. Very nice.
Okay, so how do you build trust when working with corporate or community leaders?
By giving them examples of what's already happened in the past. I think people need to see.
Seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing. And of course, I'm huge on relationships. That's number one for me. Relationships. So it doesn't have to be an instantaneous thing. It can be something that's grown throughout the years, as I do with my donors. That's just how I work. I feel like all of my donors have heard me say this at one point in time or another. People ride their waves in life. So they can be at a point where they might come to me, or somebody might have brought them to me and they want to come on board right away. But majority of people, they might be going through something. It could be just very busy. Everything could be great. They just don't have time. And then they finally reach a point where they're like, okay, we're ready. It's the same thing with sponsors too. They see what you've been doing, and then they finally get that itch to come on board. Like, oh, I definitely want to be a part of this now. I've seen everything you've done. I know many of the people that you know, and this just sounds like a great opportunity to finally come on board.
Right. No, building relationships and keeping the conversations open, because you're right. You never know when somebody's ready to move forward, and making sure that you're connecting with them, you're bringing that opportunity back into their visual, because we get so busy. Like, I don't know about you, but like sometimes my inbox gets so full, and then you are like, oh, I'll touch that next week, and then like four months go by. You're like, yeah, I didn't still go back to that yet.
Right.
But it's when you actually have the visibility, and that's with any business. You have to stay top of mind, like, I am here. And one of the things that I love most about working with you is you're always reaching out, and I appreciate that so much. And whenever I can do to try to help, I'm there, and I'm glad to do so. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why we've connected and stayed connected so long, as I really just feel that we built that relationship over time.
Agreed.
So
Totally agreed. It's been fun watching you too.
oh my gosh, like seeing your growth from, switching from one position to another within United Way, and, with me expanding my world and different businesses as well. So it's been fun.
Right.
Yeah.
It has. I appreciate that.
What would be some advice that you would give somebody in the donor stewardship? That's going to start into the donor stewardship.
Start?
Yeah.
Go in knowing that you are making a difference, that there's going to be a lot of fun ahead, and I'm going to speak from United Way Broward in particular. There are so many interesting pieces of information you'll receive. There are so many opportunities for engagement, involvement, education, advocacy, and I've seen, and you'll make connections. You'll make connections regardless. There are people who want to make deeper connections.
Yep.
I've seen that happen where donors that I had come on board 6 years ago are still making trips to go visit each other, even though they're not here anymore, but they'll cross states to go get in their trips to see each other. So that's really fun. So you can make connections depending on how deeply you would like to. And just open-mindedness, just to be able to feel it out. I let people know, it's your first year, check it out, because you'll have some that are itching to get on board with the cabinet. And it's, come check it out, see what it's like. And then if you want to take a deeper dive in the next couple of years, then you'll have a better understanding of what happens, how I work, how the organization works, where you think you might be able to assist on a cabinet level of involvement.
When you say cabinet, you're going to have to explain that one to me, because I'm sure that me, as well as some of the other viewers, don't understand what that means specifically.
Explain.
Yeah.
So we have our leadership giving networks. So we have our Young Donors Group, Next Gen United. We have Leaders United for anybody giving 1,000 or more. We have Women United for all of our women donors giving 1,000 or more for the year. And then we have our Tocqueville Society for our donors giving 10,000 or more for the year. So each of those leadership giving networks have their cabinet. So the cabinet members are those who have decided that they want to make a difference by being on board and being able to put their voice to use from their past experiences for ideas that they might have that they'll be able to boots to the ground execute with us.
Okay.
And, it's again a deeper level of engagement.
Yeah. So is it like a committee, or is it actually like on a board?
It's a committee.
It's a committee. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So I want to say one more time thank you to Curtis Bellot at Align and Innovate for being the brand sponsor for this episode. And going back, I really want to know, how do people get involved? How can they become, a steward and donate?
So many fun ways. Fun ways. I have people who will start out as volunteers. Okay, we have our Reading Pals program. That is something that if individuals have the time, I highly recommend Reading Pals. It is an amazing mentorship opportunity. You can, you'll get paired, you get your background check done, fingerprinting done, training done, and you'll get paired with a child who's anywhere from pre-K to second grade.
Okay.
In one of our, I believe we're in 21 schools, Broward County Public Schools this year. I'll have to check back on that since we're in our new fiscal year now.
Okay.
But you will go in at the same time each week to work with that child from a very specific set of books, and those books match their guidelines, their curriculum of what they need to, their sight words and their grammar and everything else that they need.
Sure.
Is tied in with those books. So you work with them for 1 hour every week during the school year, and it helps get them back on track. They might have a disinterest in reading if they're younger, or their teacher might say that they're just not where they're supposed to be for their grade level, and that mentorship that they receive from that one-to-one time with somebody that's coming in to work with them on reading specifically makes such a difference in their lives. So they've got their pal coming in. They know when you're coming in. They're ready for you. They can see you coming a mile away, and they want to be better.
They're running to you.
Yes. So that's one way that I'll bring people on board if they're interested in volunteering first. We have a couple of one-offs too throughout the year. That can be for Leaders United. We'll be participating in food distribution in March. So that's something that we'll have at our community partnership at Gulfstream Academy. and it's a good time. Tried to pick a not too toasty month, but we also have opportunities to do that during other months of the year as well. So that's something that can be checked in on our website. And connecting with me, of course, I'm always happy to connect people to the right internal employee to see what next steps are. And we have individuals who are brought by other current donors, where it's, somebody who's been involved and they want to start bringing people with them. Like, this is something that they've been a part of for years, and they want to start bringing their family and friends and coworkers who are also friends.
Yes, definitely.
And bring them in to check it out. I'll get connected that way. And we'll have a few just random people out in the community who want to get engaged, and they do a search and they find us, and we'll get some messages, and I try to connect with them, as well as through employee giving, which is during our company campaigns. So again, the company campaigns are those companies that decide that they want to give their employees the opportunity to have a fun week of learning about United Way, have the opportunity to donate to United Way, and then they want to, some of them want to go even deeper in their lives with it. As they grow professionally, they want to grow with United Way too.
I've been giving to United Way in different ways. Not a lot of it was back when I was in Minnesota, specifically because the law firms that I had worked at, they had jeans days on Fridays, and you would buy the jean stickers. And I would buy so many because I just wanted to wear jeans all the time. And so to me, I was like, I'm always been giving to United Way for probably, 8 years back then, because through the different times. So that was the first introduction that I ever had to United Way. So
that's a good one. That's very positive.
It's a very positive one. So I'm very pleased to at least, know that I've given back. And it wasn't the Minnesota chapter, but yeah,
That's
so we're
cool.
grateful.
That's nice that you have those memories from.
How do they best get contact you? So obviously the events are going to be on the website.
The events will be on the website. There are some events that are invite only as well.
Oh, interesting.
So I might have a veterans only event through the Mission United program. So I would personally send that out to the veterans in my life and people that would like to come on board. So again, this is also a reason for people to reach out to me individually. Email is probably the best. I can be reached at K Holcomb. Do you want me to spell that?
Please do. It'll be in the show notes, but please do.
It's KHOLCOM as in mouse and B as in boy at UnitedWayBroward.org.
Perfect. And then remember, the website is UnitedWayBroward.org. If you ever want to check out their events or anything else. And can they call you directly? Is that
You can.
an option?
You can if you call United Way. Yes, my phone number is 954-308-9280.
Perfect. You got to tap into your memory for that one. Yeah, no problem. I believe there also is another number that anybody could just call for basic information. Is that accurate? Or
Yes, if it's for basic United Way information, it's easy to find on Google Maps or Google, so that's an overall number. If it's
I will throw in the show notes. Don't worry about that.
If it's in the veteran community, it's 954-4UNITED for any veterans in the community that need assistance. So
Yeah,
big advocate for our Mission United program.
Mission United is very important, and we were so grateful to actually come out and do that video for you guys. So that was amazing.
So cool.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys do wonderful work, but we're very proud of that.
Thank you. All right. So as we wrap up, my favorite question is, what is the legacy that you personally hope to leave for future generations?
That one's easy for me because that's in the work that I do. I love being a part of people's stories.
Ooh.
So I have this big red sign. That's the first thing you see when you walk into my office. And it was given to me by Michael Goldberg, who's, God rest his soul, one of our speakers for one of our Lessons in Leadership events for Next Gen United. And he gave that to me to take home, and I loved it because it was my absolute favorite, because that I feel like I'm helping people to grow, to write their stories and grow them and live in them. And if I can be a little part of somebody's story of how they're living their life and where they end up, then that's huge for me. I love that. And I hope to be a part of so many lives, and getting to hear about their stories later. And it's fun to reflect back on meeting somebody and hearing about their first involvement with United Way Broward too. But I also want to help them all the way from the moment they have their foot in the door to also leaving their own legacy. So if I can be a part of their legacy, whether that be through their stories, through their giving now, through their giving later. We have legacy giving also. It's actually called legacy giving.
Yeah.
So that's a wonderful way for them to choose to leave something behind of their own as well.
I love that you incorporated stories into your legacy. For us, I mean, at Visuals by Mo, it's all about building that story and telling that story. So that was the first time that anybody's actually said that on the show. So it's just been really beautiful to hear that. So thank you. Thank you. So yes, find out your United Way story and make sure to get Kathryn involved. I think that would be amazing. So thank you guys for watching Visual Eyes, and we will see you on the next episode. Thank you, Kathryn.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Visual Eyes. We hope that the inspiration and practical insights can help you foster stronger connections and meaningful change. Don't forget to subscribe, share the episode, and leave us a review. To learn more about Visuals by Momo and how we support collaboration and storytelling, visit visualsbymomo.com. A huge thank you to everyone out there listening. Until next time, remember, collaboration fuels change, and your connections can inspire the world.